So how are you feeling physically?
I'm all right. I've got a little bit of a problem, but it ain't much.
Okay.
Today is Tuesday, November the 17th, 2020. It's 11:05 a.m. Present in the room are Bill Davis, Sheriff Hageman, Captain Johnson from Watauga County, North Carolina, and Bob Ingram with the White County Sheriff's Office. And we're here at the Augusta Medical Prison in Augusta, Georgia, Grovetown, Georgia. I asked you earlier how you've been feeling. Tell me, how's your health?
Well, it's going down a little. When you get this age, it's
Yeah,
going
how old are you now?
It's 81.
81? Yeah. And how long have you been here in Augusta?
I've been here for about 4 years now, but I've been here before.
Okay, you've been here before. Were you here before because you were sick, or what was the reason before?
They just wanted to put me over here, and they did it back then. It was not too cool to be coming to Reedsville, but I didn't have any problems while I was here.
Yeah. Now, since you've been here, the care has been pretty good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Well, good and bad, you know.
Good and bad. How's the child, the food?
They've improved it tremendously
Have
from
they?
what it was the first time I come in.
Well, good. Now, are you in a dorm or are you in a room here?
Well, I'm in a room.
In a room. And how many in your room?
One.
Oh, just one?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you get reading material or
Yes, sir.
television?
Yeah, both.
Huh. Well, that's good reading material. Now, how do they kind of rotate that reading material through the dorm, or do you get magazines, books, or both?
Both. They can, we pass it around to each other.
Yeah. Last time I was here, we had to borrow each other's glasses
I remember
because we had a similar problem. You know what that problem is? We're old.
Yes, sir.
We got that same one going on. We're close in age.
I'd rather be old than the opposite.
Yeah, the opposite. Yeah. You and I are the last of the Mohicans. We're the last of the crowd still left
Oh, yeah.
from the old days, and go way back. And I appreciate what you said to me last time. You said you obviously did your homework. You and your research in terms of all that you've been involved in over the years.
Yes.
Have you cleaned that slate about all your?
There's not much left.
Not much left. Yeah. You good about that? That the past is the past.
Yes, sir.
One of the things that's important to me, and I hope you're going to respect this, is there's some things that we want to close and finish, and I don't want to resurrect the past except to bring closure, because you and I talked about the Rins case the other day and what was involved with Birt. When did you meet? When did you first meet Billy Birt?
I couldn't put a date on it, but it has been a good time ago.
I mean, give me the decade, the 60s, the 70s, or
Both of those.
both of those, the 60s and the 70s. And I'm interested because how did that first meeting happen? Who introduced one to the other?
One of them bootleggers down there called himself a bootlegger.
One of them bootleggers
Yes, sir.
introduced
He introduced me
to Birt.
or to Birt to me. I don't know which went first, but
Right. Now, you were, at the time, you had a couple of car lots. You
yes,
had
sir.
one in Austell, you had one in Mapleton or Marietta?
Both.
Both. So you had car lots, several, and you had nice cars. You had the Cadillacs, and I know you drove a lot of you drove nice cars. They were used and new both.
Used mostly.
Used both, but not in bad shape. Good
No,
quality cars.
Real good quality.
So the introduction by the bootlegger. Do you remember his name by any chance? Because I would know him.
Let's go on to something else, and I might.
It wasn't Chancey, was it?
Jesse.
It was?
No.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Harold or Ruth Chancey. Old man Dawes. Jim Dawes.
Well, this guy's still in business, and I can't think of his name.
Still in business. He's old as you and me. Damn, that liquor must have pickled him. Kept him going.
I know that his son sent me a Christmas card.
Oh, his son did?
Yeah.
How about that? So he's still around.
Well, he was then. It's been about 10 years ago now.
You know, what area of Georgia was he in?
Winder.
Winder, the area that Bill Birt was from, and Gaddis,
Mm-hmm.
both. When did you meet Gaddis? Did Birt introduce you to him?
I think he introduced me to Birt.
Okay, you think,
One or the other.
yeah. And that would have been, when we were talking, I'm just trying to put a time frame on it. You're saying this is probably 60s, 70s, both times. So you got a fair recollection of when that was.
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. When did Charlie Reed come into the picture?
Well, he was younger than most people that was doing that.
Yeah, he was quite a bit younger.
Yeah.
And,
So I'm thinking that it was about the same time I met the one we was just talking about.
Birt and Gaddis,
Mm-hmm.
Bill Birt and Bobby Gaddis. Did you meet Harold Chancey?
I met him just by name only.
By name only, okay. Do you recall any of the others? Did you? Of course, you knew Otis Redleg. He was kind of Billy's. What's a good word? Just kind of gopher. Is that a good way of putting it?
Yes, sir, it is.
It's kind of like the Larry Bethune was for you. Larry cleaned up cars and got rid of stuff and whatever you needed him to do. He took care of.
Yes. Is he still alive?
I don't think so. Elvis Larry Bethune. No, I don't. There ain't many alive but me and you. And we ain't got long left.
You got that right.
No, we're closer to the end than the beginning. That's really why I'm here, because last time we talked, it was about a month ago. You remember that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
When I came. As a matter of fact, and I want to tell you something. I appreciate the fact when I left, you said, "You coming back?" Remember?
Yes, sir.
And I said, "Yes, sir, I will." I said, "But only if I'm invited. That's the only way I'm coming. If you told me I don't want you here, I don't want to talk to you, then you wouldn't see me. I would respect that. But by you saying that to me, you said, I think we had a good understanding.
Well, I did. I think you did too.
Oh, I did too. And I think you were straight up with everything we talked about. And I told you about the Rids case, and I'm not here to rehash that case. That case is over and done and closed, and it's over. And you that's your stomach or mine growling. One of us, somebody in the room's growling. but we talked about the rich kid, and then about halfway in, I said, I'm here with a purpose. And if you'll allow me to, I wanted to tell you what that purpose was. And that purpose was the case with the big snowstorm. Remember, we talked about that? And there was a heck of a snowstorm. It just came all at once. And you said, and Bill Birt said, I don't know if we're going to get out of here. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. And when you said that to me, and I asked you the question, and I'll see if you remember. I said, were you driving a two-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive? What'd you tell me?
Gosh, I don't know if I can remember that one or not.
Yeah, well.
I probably was driving old Model 2.
Yeah, a Cadillac or would you say Coupe de Ville or?
It would have been back then. I think that's what it was.
It was the early 70s,
Yes.
and it wasn't brand new, but it was.
Whatever it was something I just picked up off the lot.
Picked up off the lot, and that's what you drove to North Carolina.
Yes.
Now, who drove it back from North Carolina?
The last time I seen it, Birt was under the wheel. So
Okay, Birt was under the wheel. And knowing him, if he's with a group of people, he's going to want to drive. Am I right?
Well, yeah, he enjoyed it.
Yeah. He what?
Enjoyed.
Well, he was good behind the wheel.
Yes, he
And,
was.
and I'll tell you another one who was good behind the wheel. Bill Davis.
Well, practice it. I used to race before I got in the car business.
I know that. And you were good with a car.
Yeah.
And he was too. Let me ask you something. When you got there, was it snowing or did it start after you got there?
I believe it was spitting a little bit.
Spitting, and then it.
The bottom fell out.
The bottom fell out. Yeah. Now, who actually went in the house? Who were the ones that went into the house? Think a minute. You got your skull cap on. That'll help you think.
More than that.
You're gonna need more than
These
that.
kind of questions.
Well, listen. I'll help you if we can work together to get this straight. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So tell me, who went in the house or who got put out at the house?
I don't even remember, but two people that was there.
Okay, well, tell me who
Birt
they were.
and Gaddis.
Who?
Birt and Gaddis.
Birt and Gaddis, and you were behind the wheel.
Yes, but I didn't stay as long as they did.
You didn't stay long. You put them out, and where'd you go?
I went uptown for a little bit to see somebody I hadn't seen in a long time.
Okay.
That was a straight, honest person. He wasn't into what
Okay.
we were.
Okay. All right.
And
And then when did you go park the car where they could find you?
probably, I couldn't tell you what year it was. I don't even know what year we went up to.
Okay. Give me a ballpark. Give me a ballpark if you don't know exactly, because it's been a long time ago. Was it?
Yes.
When was it in terms of, what time frame? Is it around the time frame of the Renz case? Is it the same time frame?
It was probably one of those, but
Now the Renz case was 73
yes,
down in
I
Renz.
remember that one.
Oh, I know you do, because you testified in that one. You do a lot. That's the couple, the old couple, and then up in North Carolina, there were how many victims? 3? or you remember?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Not and be accurate about
Yeah.
it.
What was the purpose in going up there to North Carolina?
Purpose was for a robbery.
A robbery, and then after the robbery, Bill Birt always what? What did he always do?
He always left the body,
Left the body, and why is that?
so they couldn't tell him.
So they couldn't tell on him, couldn't identify him. So he always robbed him to kill him. But that location where those people were in North Carolina, that location was targeted. There was you understand what I mean by
Yes,
targeted?
I understand that.
Oh, I know you do. What does target mean to you?
That means that if I'm going to rob you, you're the target.
Yeah, if I'm going to rob you, you're the target. So what you do going up there, that there was somebody up there with some money. Well, that's what you were told, right?
I was told that the family that lived there had money.
The family that lived there had money, and who told you that?
Billy Birt.
Billy Birt. Now, how did he learn that?
I don't know who told.
Okay, but you got
I
to
tried to stay away from that part of it.
No, I know you tried to stay away from that part of it, but Birt, see, remember, I'm going to go back. I'm going to jump back. I'm going to jump over here before we go forward. Okay.
Okay.
In the Rids case, now hear me, because you said, man, you hit it right on the head. In the Rids case, Carswell Tapley, he was that old drunk at the deer camp. You follow me?
Right.
And he told Leisha that this old couple had money, retired car dealer, had money. He told Leisha, and Leisha told you. Follow me.
I'm trying.
You tracking me?
Yes.
Okay, you're tracking me. Maybe?
Maybe.
Well,
We're talking about something that happened 50 years ago.
oh, I know we are, but your mind's still working. Not as good.
It is, but not near as good as it was.
Oh, neither is mine. Either one of us got the minds we used to have, but yours is still good. It's tracking. Tapley runs his mouth at the deer camp. He tells Leisha. Leisha tells you, and you tell Birt. Am I right?
That may be the way it went, but I couldn't swear to it.
Well,
I know he talked to him.
right. And then Birt got you, Gaddis, and Reed, and you all went to Rids.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. You drove. You drove down. Who drove back?
Birt did.
Birt drove back. That's right. Because remember, hold on. Remember when you stopped to pee on that hill at the chalk mine, and the alternator went out. Remember?
Who?
The alternator on the car went out.
Oh,
It wouldn't crank.
yeah, I understand.
And Birt got the two guys to jump the car off. And y'all went on. And remember, you had to go back because you left the gun there?
I think we did go back, but I ain't sure it was for a gun.
Why? What were you thinking?
Well, we really didn't need one.
Didn't need a gun because of the
They'd
why?
done all the damage you could do.
Yeah, the people were tied up and strangled. Yeah, okay.
But of course, they followed up with having a gun in their hand. They went in the door.
Of course, yeah, they had to get control.
Right.
And that's typical in what I call I don't know if you use this word, but when you invade somebody's home and go into their home, you've got to have a gun to control them, but then you tie them up, you don't need the gun.
Right.
And you tie them up to control them, and this is a hard word, but you use it because it's right, to torture them.
Oh yeah, Birt was good at that.
He was good at torturing people. And why did he do that?
To get money if there was any money there.
To get the money if there was anybody there. And if it wasn't visible, he was going to make them tell him where it was. And in Rids, you remember the money was buried in those jars outside, remember?
I was told that. I
Yeah.
never seen it. Where
Yeah. And remember you said you got 40,000. I mean 4, but Birt told me y'all got 40,000.
I can't remember the exact figure, but it was lower than what we expected.
Now, let me ask you something. Did they get the amount of money they expected from North Carolina?
I can't even remember that case.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of cases in there. It's hard to keep them straight. And as you told me, that this is 50 years ago, man, you know, I can't remember every detail. But you can remember some things, right?
What?
You can remember some things, some of the things,
yeah.
not everything, not every detail. And I understand there's a lot of jobs that were done, you know, and different people involved at different times. You were the guy that supplied the cars to do the
That
jobs.
was my job.
Yeah. Well, and to drive and to put people out.
Well, I drove when Birt wasn't in the car.
Yeah.
He liked to drive too.
Oh, I know. He prided himself. He liked them muscle cars, them fast muscle. And he drove the hell out of them too. He ran liquor and drove cars, and you know that's how you learn to drive, running from the police. Am I right?
Right.
Right.
He bought a lot of cars. That's why I was always around him.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I worked every day.
Yeah.
He
And you
didn't.
and you like to gamble too. You enjoy that. There were a couple of things you like to do. You like to gamble. You like to. Can I say this? Chase women.
Well, not as much back then as afterwards. After that fell off,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I had a wife and a family.
Oh, I know you had a wife and a family. You had a couple of kids, right? 2 kids. They doing okay?
Yeah, they're still doing fine.
Good. How old are they?
The oldest one is, let's see, that's Daryl. He just died too.
He died.
Yeah.
Your oldest child?
Mm.
How old was he?
He was, I can't tell you, but it was around the end of the 60s or early 70s.
Okay.
See, when we come to prison, when did they?
74 is when you went to prison for bank robbery.
Okay.
And then you did about 15 years federal time, and then they transferred you to state time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you got into the state system in the late 80s, and you've been in the state system since then, probably 30 plus years.
Yeah, I've been still.
Still what?
I'm still in custody.
Still, yeah, you are. But this case up in North Carolina, I want to be clear. Who went into that house that you put out at that house? Who went into it? Think. You said who?
Gaddis was there.
Okay. Who else?
Birt.
Okay. Who else?
And Charlie Reed.
Charlie Reed. So 3 went in the house.
Right.
Okay.
That I know of.
Right. Did you? Well, you would know because you put them there.
Yeah, I drove them there.
You drove them there, put them out, and then. Now, how did they get to you from the house? How did they get from the house to you where you were parked waiting?
I think he sent one of them to get me.
Sent one of them to get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlie Reed, maybe.
All right. Okay.
But it's been so long I can't stand
That's all
by
right.
some of these.
How much money did they get out of that house?
I'm not exactly sure. Birt always whatever he got. And,
Pinched it, you mean? He didn't tell people exactly what he got.
Yeah.
And he gave you, now you got some of the money
Yes.
for driving. How much?
Gosh, you ask hard questions.
Well,
and you know it's been a long time ago.
oh yeah. But let me tell you something, Bill Davis. When I talked to you a month ago, you know what I said? He ain't as sharp as he used to be, but he's still sharp. You still got a good mind and a good body. Oh, and neither one of us have the mind or the body we had, but, you know, we've still got something left. You'd agree, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir. They're going to put us in a case to get rid of us. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. They're going to get rid of both of us here eventually. And our day's coming, and it ain't that far.
No, it's not.
Are you good with all these cases in terms of?
I was at one time, but I'm not as sharp as you well know today as I was back then.
Oh, I knew you back then, and you were plenty sharp. Sharper than me, Mr. Davis.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I would. Let me ask you something. How much money come out of that house? Did they get as much as they thought out of that house?
I think they got more, but they didn't let it be known.
They got more, but they didn't let me know. Did they kill the people?
Yes.
How'd they kill them?
Shot them.
Shot them. Okay.
Now, what case we talking about here?
Hold on. We're talking about the case in North Carolina at the snowstorm. Don't confuse them. Okay? Because there's plenty of people that were shot. I know that. But the case in North Carolina with the people tied up.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay? Were they killed?
Yeah, they was killed.
Okay, there were no witnesses. Do you know how they were killed?
Yes, they shot them.
Shot them. Okay.
You could claim that on just about everything he ever done.
What, did he shot them?
Yeah. Shot people. That he
Oh, he shot people, yeah. How many people has Bill Birt killed?
Oh, goodness, there's no telling.
I mean, give me an estimate.
Well, I know it went over 50,
You know it went over 50.
according to him. But now, he liked to brag a lot, too, and he thought people thought more of him if he was out there killing.
Tell me what he was like when he was taking those RJSs and Black Beauties and taking those pills. What was he like?
Oh, like crazy. Yeah.
He was scary crazy when he was on, but when he was not on them, he was okay. But when he was on them, he was apparently out of control.
Well, I would say that. Some others say he wasn't, but I would say that he was.
A lot of people were afraid of him,
Yeah.
including you.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a very dangerous man. Yeah. If you put those people, if you put Gaddis and Birt and Reed out at the house, you think you drove a Coupe de Ville Cadillac, okay? And you saying they went in, they robbed them and killed them, okay?
Yeah, they killed him.
Yeah, but were you in the house when they killed them?
No.
Okay. So do you know how they killed him? How he killed him?
I heard shots.
You heard shot. Okay. How far away from the house were you when he killed those people?
About 2 blocks or 3. About 2 or 3 blocks.
Okay.
There was if I remember correctly, there was a church up there.
A church?
Or a building that looked like a church.
A church, a building looked like a church that wasn't far away.
It was,
Okay, how bad was the snowstorm when you drove out of there?
oh, it wasn't as bad as it was when I got to Atlanta, but it was coming down good.
Okay. Was the Coupe de Ville 2-wheel or 4-wheel drive?
I'm pretty sure it was a 2-wheel.
2-wheel drive. So you had a hell of a time in that snowstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So you drove up there and you came back and do you remember the time frame this happened in, the year frame?
All I can tell you is when we got on the road to come back, it was dark.
Dark. Okay. So this happened at night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I remember the lights, had to turn the lights on to see this.
Okay.
Keep people from running into you and you running into them.
Right, right. You remember the Fleming case? Was this in close proximity to that time frame? Yes or no? Or do you remember?
Fleming.
The Fleming case was in the Ridds. That was the name of the man and woman, Mr. and Mrs. Fleming. But in the Ridds case, you drove in that one.
Who was it, you know?
Who was what?
Who was
No, what I'm saying is the Ridds case when that couple was tied up and
the old
strangled.
man and
Yeah,
his
the
wife.
old man and his wife killed. Yeah, you drove in that one and put them out. That's the one with the fruit jars in the smokehouse that had the money in it.
I'm pretty sure I drove in it, but
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Well, I know you did because you told me you did.
Well,
back
I
then.
told you that. Well, I
Well,
remembered it at that time.
Yeah, I understand it. It's 50 years, and you haven't, anybody would have a tough time remembering 50 years ago. But what's important here is not only was it 50 years ago, but a lot was going on there. There were a lot of crimes being committed, a lot of people being killed. Is that fair?
Right.
Yeah. And the people involved in most of them were Birt, Gaddis, and yourself.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. What else do you remember about North Carolina? I don't want to be suggestive in any way to you, but what on a 0 to 100 scale, you understand what I mean? 0 to 100. How sure are you that Birt and Gaddis and Charlie Reed went in that house and killed those people in that North Carolina house in that blinding snowstorm?
There's no doubt to me that they did. But Charlie Reed, I don't know that he entered the house.
Okay. But Gaddis and Birt did.
If anybody stayed out, it would have been him.
Okay. Okay. How much money did they get?
It's hard to say. One time it's one amount, and 100 miles later it's 2 or 3.
So you're telling me when you're traveling, the amount of money they're telling you they got changes.
Mm-hmm.
And Birt would keep some of it and not tell you.
Right.
But you always got somebody for participating.
Oh, yeah, he kick you down a little something.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question straight up?
Sure.
Were you as mean as Birt?
By as mean, if you're talking about robbing people and intentionally killing them, no, I was not. I didn't like that. I never got over that. I come from a good family. He claimed he did, but from what I understand about it, he didn't. But that don't make no difference. We're
Right.
talking about me.
Yeah.
And I did not appreciate killing anyone.
Right. I think you've made everything you've done right with the Lord. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And you had to. And let me say this to you. You've done a lot. And you had a lot to clear up, and you have.
Well, I've tried to.
I know. I
And
know you
I
have.
still do.
You still do every day.
Yes.
You have regrets for what you did.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people died
They did.
from
Absolutely.
what you and Bill Birt and Bobby Gaddis, Charlie Reed, and others were involved in. A lot of people died. And you regret it now.
Right. I I certainly do.
Yeah. But you were one tough hombre, and I'm not trying to put you up here. I'm just telling you straight to your face, you were a bad man in the day. Yes or no?
Well, people that knew me would say no, because I come from a religious home, and
I don't doubt that a bit, a religious home, but I think when you got with Billy Birt, you did some things that you regretted.
I sure did, and still regret it.
And killed a lot of people, yes or no?
Well, yes, you could say that, but
I just said it.
He killed so many, it didn't seem to jive some kind of way.
No, I understand what you're saying. He killed a lot of people, a lot more people. Yeah. And he was a lot more ruthless and dangerous. A lot more. There's no doubt about it. But you did too. You participated with him in a lot of these, but clearly not all that he did. Yeah. Is that a fair statement?
Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but yes, I did participate in
several,
maybe 5 to 7.
Okay, 5 to 7 murders. Okay.
I try not to think of it, but sometimes it just pops in your mind.
There's no way
to get rid of it.
No way to get rid of it other than just get on your knees and just pray that the Lord will get rid of it for you.
Right.
It's the only way.
And my mother helped me a lot. My father did too. They were religious people.
And I'm glad you had that upbringing that you could eventually make a full circle back to. You follow me?
Yes, sir. Certainly do.
And that's important to me, and it's important to you. Do you mind if these North Carolina folks ask you a question or two?
Not at all.
Okay.
You said earlier when you drove the car to the North Carolina mountains that you drove downtown and that you went to see a friend. Who would that have been? Do you know? In Boone.
Yes, I think I do.
Got a picture of him? Got a picture of Hall?
No.
I can't remember his name.
I just ask him straight up if he knows.
Yeah. Do you know a guy by the name of Troy Hall?
Hall?
Mm-hmm.
No, sir.
Think. Don't answer that quick. Think.
It usually pops from my head if I know him, but...
young guy back then. Young guy. Been younger than
where did he work?
He actually was going to school. He was in college.
University of Georgia?
No, it's a university in Boone, North Carolina, Appalachian State. He and his wife both went to school there.
So we killed him there?
No. I asked you if you knew a guy by the name of Troy Hall in Boone. You said that you drove around before you went back, and you said you met a friend or meeting a friend or something along those lines.
Well, that name really don't ring a bell, but it must have the day I talked to you, or I wouldn't have said what you said I did. But I cannot place it right at the moment.
What about this building he's talking about in close proximity to the house? Is there anything
church
that resembles that? A building that he had said that there's a church-like building in close proximity. There is? That's important. Tell me about that church. You said, now I don't want to put words in your mouth. You said that you put Gaddis and Birt and Reed out at the house. You don't know if Charlie Reed went in the house, but you said you know Gaddis and Birt did. Okay? And you said you drove, you think it was a Cadillac Coupe de Ville, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you said that there was a church or a building like a church close by that you said, did you park there? Or did you remember it?
I can't tell you if I parked there or not. I don't even know where that place is at now. Back then I would have.
No, but your memory is good. Your memory is good because you said the house, there was a church-like building close to it, right? You said
2 or 3 blocks.
Is that right? That's what you just said. Okay, a few minutes ago. Are you thinking?
Yeah, I am on that one.
Yeah.
I usually get them right away.
Well, but listen, you're almost close to 80 years of age. Your mind still works. It's just not as fast.
Well, it sure slowed down a lot.
Well, so is mine. We're both slowing down. We got to accept that. I don't like to accept it, but I have to.
You're plenty sharp, Sheriff.
Who?
You. You are.
I do my hope.
I'll pick it up in your conversation.
You haven't missed one word I've said, have you?
No, sir. But the problem is bringing it back. I forget what it was and what it was
Right.
done for.
Can I ask you something that might help bring it back? It was customary for you guys to, once you dropped them off at a house, they would meet you driving the people's car from the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, can you remember anything about them getting a vehicle stuck in the snow? Did that cause a problem, or were you with them when they got stuck, or how'd you find them? Maybe that rings a bell.
I really don't understand that.
She asked you, here's what she asked you. She said, very important. She said, when you'd put them out at the house, right, you'd leave and go away. And the reason you did that is so your car wouldn't be seen there, right? That makes sense. All right. Now, when they left, they took the car that was there at the house to come meet you, okay? Right?
Right.
That's what they did. All right. Did that vehicle they were in get stuck? What do you remember?
I recall some vehicles getting stuck, but I can't put.
Okay, I just thought of something. Was there any silver? When I mean silver, I mean plates, a tea kettle, coffee deal, silverware. Was any of that come out of that house?
Goodness, I can't tell you if they brought anything out of there.
Yeah.
They had a roll of money and was counting it in the back seat while I was driving. But as far as other items, I can't put my finger on.
Okay.
And I would have that one because there's money involved in it.
Yeah. Well, you were paying attention to the money and not the other stuff, which I understand completely. But when they came out of the house, did they tell you they killed those people? Or was that just a no
I'm
given?
sure he told me he always liked to brag about what he'd done, but
He tell you how many people?
I don't think so. I really can't recall that house and that kind of money.
But you used the word family. Did he kill a family?
I don't even know if it was a family that lived there.
Okay. Do you know possibly what the occupation of the person was that lived there?
And where was that at? What?
Boone, North Carolina. The snowstorm. Remember the snowstorm. Focus on that. You know, there's two things happening, and I'm gonna say it, and you correct me if I'm wrong. There's two things happening here. You're 80 years old, and your memory is not as good as it once was, right?
It's about gone.
Well, it ain't gone because you still got plenty, and we're gonna find out here. But the other thing, there was so many of these, they're getting confused, right or wrong.
Right.
Right. We've got so many crimes, so many cases, so many people killed that we've got them confused. And then the age factor, but I keep saying this, you're very sharp. And I appreciate the compliment you paid to me, but you said, you hadn't missed a word I've said. Not one word. And is anything I've said not the truth?
Oh, no.
It's all true.
Yes, I assume that it is.
No, don't assume it.
But what you say
True or false?
is true.
Okay, that's all I'm asking you. And we had that
But
understanding.
if we're talking about something that I don't know nothing about, and you say something, how can I say that it was true or false?
You can't do that. But you remember clearly what we're talking about, and that's the robbery murder where there was a snowstorm up in Boone, North Carolina. That part you remember. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And you remember driving, and you remember who was with you. Right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, and you also remember that they came out with a roll of money that they were counting or whatever.
I think they did, yes.
And Birt told you that who was ever in that house was dead. He killed him.
I remember that.
Yeah. Birt was capable of killing a lot of different ways. He could kill you with his hands, couldn't he?
Well, yeah, he could and he couldn't. He'd get mad about something and something that you and I would just flip off.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, he done killed 2 or 3 of the people that he was mad at.
Right. He wanted to kill you.
Yeah.
And he regretted the hell out of not killing you.
Yeah.
How did you avoid that?
Well, I stayed prepared for him all the time.
Yeah.
And he knew that. And I'd catch him looking at different things that he shouldn't be looking at.
The 2 meanest people I've ever met in my life was Bill Birt and Bill Davis.
Well, I'd like to get off that list.
You like to get off of it?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Well, we're not that way now, but you used to be.
What would happen if somebody didn't pay the money that they said that they would for a job?
Well, sometimes he'd leave, sometimes he would.
So, like, say, my understanding is there was a monetary amount that Birt charged people.
Right.
Do you remember how much that was?
I don't know how much, but it was a pretty good pile of it.
So,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you a follow-up question. You said that Billy had a temper. You know, he would get mad easily. When y'all were driving back to Atlanta, was he upset that the money that was there was not what he understood there to be? Like there was, he was told one thing. He told there's a lot of money, and then when he left, did he say anything about, well, they ripped me off, or I didn't get as much as I was told, or whatever?
Oh yeah, he was very paranoid about that, about somebody beating him out of some money.
Yeah, and we really today what we need to do, I think, is get really down to the nitty gritty of the bottom line. And here's the bottom line. That crime didn't happen by accident.
No, not at all.
Somebody set it up. And whoever set it up, listen to me, had to be close to those people. Had to. Because they had to know who they were, where they lived, and how much money they had. Right?
Right.
Because Bill Davis, Bill Birt, Bobby Gaddis, Charlie Reed just didn't drive up there and find this house by accident. You knew where the house was. These people were targeted. In other words, they were targeted to be robbed and killed by somebody. and we've been talking around a circle here, but somebody close to those people set that up.
Yes, in my opinion.
Oh, there's no opinion about it. We know it. We both know it because that's how things work and that's how you people operate it. If you received information that people had money, they were going to be robbed and killed. True or false?
True.
True.
So that's what they got the information.
That's what they did. Do you know where that information came from in this case?
Sin.
Sir?
What'd you say?
Okay, here's what I said. Do you, Bill Davis, know where the information came from to rob and kill those people in Boone, North Carolina?
I don't know who set it up. No.
Well, who do you think set it up, if you don't know for sure?
I'm thinking it was Bill's buddy. I was trying to think of his name.
Bill who? Bill Birt?
Yeah, his friend.
Bill Burt's friend?
He lived there. He didn't live in Winder, but he lived close to it.
And knew these people? And that they had money?
Well, yes.
The information came to Birt or to you?
No, it come to Birt.
It come to Birt.
Right.
But you knew that somebody set this up that knew where those people lived, who they were, and that they had money. Because you knew where you were going, right?
Yeah, I didn't know all them people, but the names.
Yeah. When you dropped them at the house, were the people already home, or did they come home afterwards?
I couldn't tell you that. I really couldn't.
Okay. But you put them out, and then you...
I mean, I could have told you, but I don't do that.
No, you've never been one to tell me something wasn't correct, wasn't
If
right.
I know something about it and I can tell you, I do that. But if I can't, well, I can't.
Are you absolutely certain that the people you named committed that crime that we're talking about, where these folks live in Boone, North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, he bragged about it all the time.
Okay. Did Bill like to torture people?
Oh, yeah. That was his main thing.
Yeah. I don't know of anybody I've ever come across in my life, and I've come across a lot of people that were like him.
I tried to kill him 3 or 4 times and didn't get it done, but if I had, it would have saved a lot of lives.
Whew.
If you had to guess, what's the youngest person that Billy killed?
The what?
Bill Birt killed. What's the youngest age person that he killed?
She's asking you, what's the youngest person he's ever killed? Birt.
Well, in a robbery, no, that wasn't fit to Bill there, but I really don't know. He's killed so many, I don't.
What did y'all talk about that night after the killings, coming back to Atlanta? I mean, just...
That's another one I don't know. He drove and...
He bragged about the crime?
No, he not that one. He didn't. He usually does, but he didn't that one.
Yeah. Was he mad driving?
Oh yeah.
What was he mad about?
Speed, fast as he could go.
Yeah. Was he mad about the money he got? Did he get the amount that he wanted or not?
I don't know.
You don't know. But he gave you some. He gave everybody some. Yeah. How much did you get?
It was small. It wasn't much.
$1,000. $1,000. Okay. Yeah.
But he was quite a character. His mother just died. She killed herself, they said.
Birt? Birt killed himself 3 years ago in prison. He hung himself.
Yeah, I know that.
He developed Parkinson's, shaking real bad. And he hung himself at Ware State Prison. Had you ever been to Ware State Prison?
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
Let me ask one more question. When you let them out at the house, was there another vehicle in the driveway, or do you remember? Or was it a?
Sometimes it would be, wouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
I often got nervous because when we pull up in there, if some other car pull in behind you, you kill or you get in the woods or you do whatever you do, but you hope you don't get caught, but you do.
If somebody else had driven up, you'd have killed them. It's that simple. That's how you guys operated. There were no living witnesses.
Yeah.
You know, I am so...
That's the worst part of my life. I thought it was good to start with, but no.
Yeah. Well, you got caught up in something and you became part of it. That's true. You got caught up in it, you became part of it, and you ended up killing just like they killed. And you regret it. And I know that. And I don't mean to bring up the past and resurrect this, but we're here, and we came back for one reason. Remember when I talked to you a month ago, we talked about the Fleming case, and we put that aside, the Rids case. That's aside, put away, that's done, over with. But I told you my purpose was to talk to you about a case up in North Carolina, remember? Mm-hmm. And then I told these folks, and we all said we need to come back and we need to talk to them and find out, you know, right from them. But I'm repeating myself, but there's a reason. There's two things going on here. You're not as sharp as you once were, right?
Oh, no.
But you still got a good brain and a good body.
Well, sometimes I think I do, and other times I think I don't.
Well, I think you do, because you made a heck of a comment. You listened to me and said, boy, you have done your homework, and you have done your research, and you absolutely know these cases and have studied them. And that's why, and when I notified them, I wanted them to hear from you, because you and I ain't got long left, my man.
We sure ain't, no.
I'm telling you.
I'm ahead of you on that one.
You are. You're a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
But, you know, I want you to leave this world with a clean slate. That's what I want you to do. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be right, because you got a lot of confess. Have you confessed to all of this?
Not all of it, but yeah, I've done a lot of confessing.
Yeah.
Had a preacher that was real good for years. He died.
Yeah. Everybody's dying.
Yeah.
Nobody's left. You regret what happened in North Carolina, don't you?
Oh, yes. I regret everything I ever done in that line of work.
Yeah, but you got a lot of cases that you've been involved in, and it's hard to remember which is which. Is that fair?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. But there's no doubt about the one in North Carolina. Is there?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, sir.
He's got a good brain.
Oh yeah,
It's
sharp. When you all left there during the snowstorm and everything, and you almost maybe got caught, how did you drive back? Which highway did you take back to Atlanta? Do you remember? I mean, was it a rural road, or a main highway, or what? Do you remember?
In the beginning, it was rural, and then I got on the highway.
As you were leaving?
Yes, after we left.
Okay.
You don't remember the silver and all in coming out of that house?
I don't remember it. It could have been there.
Of course it could have. Yeah, you were one of 4 people.
Do you remember worrying about getting caught because of the snowstorm?
That's 24/7.
I guess that would be on anything that makes sense.
It was mine. It wasn't the other guy's. But it certainly was mine.
Did you ever get stuck?
I got put in jail one time, but it was for speeding, reckless driving.
I'm talking about that night. That night you come out of there, I can just imagine a blinding snowstorm at night. Did the car ever get stuck that night?
I don't remember that.
Okay, that's fine. You can only tell us what you remember. Anything you want to hit them with straight up? Because I think just go for the gold.
If I'd have met y'all earlier, this never would have happened.
Yeah.
Man.
You'd have had a better recollection of everything.
Well, I mean, the crimes never would have happened on my part.
Yeah.
I didn't want to start it no way.
Yeah. Well, when you got with Birt, everything went south. I mean, the crime was just out of control. He spiraled when he took those pills. Yeah. Well, the people with him were afraid of him. Everyone was afraid of him. The law was afraid of him. Everybody.
His own mother and his father was afraid of him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was reason. He killed his own brother.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet him? Did you ever meet any of his brothers or sisters, if he had any, or?
I've probably talked to a couple of them, but and I seen them all the time, but that was at a distance.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have no relationship.
Well, you knew Bobby Birt, his brother,
Yeah.
and then Ray Birt.
Right.
Is that us? They were not killed.
No.
Yeah. And
You still working here in the gym?
no, I give it up finally. But I do work. I work in a cabinet shop. I've been building cabinets.
Oh.
Good deal. You like that?
Yeah, I did it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And my father taught me how, so I'm pretty good at it.
You got a lot of ability. You were very smart, very clever. You were one of the cleverest, smartest people I've ever met.
Well, I disagree with that, but
You can disagree all you want. I'm speaking the truth. You were a very smart, clever individual. The biggest mistake you ever made was getting hooked up with Billy Birt.
right, absolutely.
That destroyed you.
His mama told me that
Yeah.
after I come to jail.
But when you ran with him, listen to me, you became like him.
Yeah, absolutely. Did.
Oh, I know. Anything else?
Do you remember? Do you remember where you met them after they left the house? Do you remember where they were, or how you picked them up?
Well, we always had it established where we was going after.
Okay.
That's a good point. Before you ever got to the house, you knew where you were going to pick them up.
Right.
And you don't recall where that was specifically? Do you recall specifically where that place was that you were going to pick them up?
Ooh, that'd be a rough one there. I know some of the streets up there, but they're probably gone by now.
How many times have you been to North Carolina?
Well, I've been up there a few times,
Okay.
but it was usually,
Did you have family or friends up there?
yes, both.
Both.
Mm.
Okay. All right.
My mother's father, he was from borderline to Carolina.
Billy, I'm going to ask you something as we conclude. I'm going to be straight with you. You knew the man who set this up. Listen to me. You knew the man who set this up in Boone. To put this whole thing in motion. He was a young fella, and he was part of that family.
Part of the family that lived in. or part of Birt's family?
I don't know. I'm asking. Part of it, but you, Bill Davis, knew the person who set this up because you knew people in Boone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you knew him, and you might not know his name, but you know that he's the one that gave the information that these people would have money. It's true. Mm-hmm.
And he lived in Boone and
That's right.
set up robberies, and
That's right.
is he still alive?
Yeah.
Is he in jail?
No. He needs to be. I want him in jail. We want him in jail. That's where he belongs. Because it would have never happened had he not put it in motion. You follow me?
Yes, absolutely on that.
Oh, absolutely on it. I'm on the money. Because remember you said something that you don't come unprepared. If you come in here, you know what you're talking about. And I know what I'm talking about.
Well, have you got any leads, ways to arrest them or make charges?
I can damn sure get a picture and bring him here. A picture of him and bring him to you and see if it's the guy.
Are they from there or here?
There. You'd recognize his picture, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Okay. That's
I
what we
might
do.
go with it.
Yeah, I do too. That's what we need to do. Can I come back? Are you tired of me?
No, I'm not tired of you. Sure.
I'm a pain in the ass. I know that. I know that. A lot of people have told me that. But I'm willing to come back with these folks with a photograph and let you look at it, and you tell me yes or no. That's the man that set it up. Somebody set it up. You didn't happen on that house by accident.
Mm-mm.
You knew where you were going. You knew who the people were. You knew where they lived. You knew they'd have money. Oh, yeah.
And you would do your homework as far as making a plan, right? So see where the house is, where to drop people off, where to pick people up or meet, right?
You know the two things we got in common, me and you? We're old. You know the other thing?
What is
We
it?
prepare. That's what she
Yeah.
just said. You're not going somewhere unprepared.
I wouldn't want you on my trail.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm a lightweight.
No,
Huh?
no, you ain't no lightweight. Don't even think about it like that. You
It's
as
good
smart you as smart a lawman as I ever met, and I've met a bunch of them.
Yeah.
FBI down,
Well,
and
thank
some
you.
above them.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So,
But you aren't too. In your day, you and I would have made good chess players on either side of the board. But we'd have had a good
I
time.
don't know if I deserve it or
Oh,
not.
I do. We need to come back with a photograph.
We can do that.
Yep. Of when he was of the age.
That was in Boone, North Carolina.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We know what we're talking about, the four of us in this room. We know. But see, I get the fact that I want you to know and everyone to know in this room that I understand fully and completely. We're both old. We both aren't as sharp as we used to be. But there's a lot of stuff that you've done that you've got to figure out in your mind which goes with which. You follow me?
Right.
And it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
It is hard because there's so much.
It ain't easy being a lawman anyway, and it ain't easy to have him chasing you around.
It ain't easy to be a criminal. It ain't easy to be a lawman. Either one's difficult.
But what sucks is while you're answering for things that you've done, this guy, if he did that, if he hired you guys to do this, has been scot-free and living it up large
Right.
all these years.
And he needs to be in jail. And you can help us.
Well, I will if I can.
We'll bring you some pictures.
What?
We'll bring him some pictures.
absolutely.
Does he live in Boone?
Not
He
anymore.
used to, but he lived there at the time. Yeah. You'll know who he is when you see his picture. You mark my words. You mark my words. It'll come back. You say it. How can you even predict that? Because I know you. That's how I predict it.
Well, we'll give it a try. And see what
Absolutely,
happens.
it's worth a try. You got anything you want to ask us?
Yeah, when you gonna get me out of here?
I told you I'd write the parole board. I'm going to tell them that you cooperated and you are truthful. You cooperated, you're truthful. You had my word on that, and I will keep it.
Well, that's all we can do.
Well, that's all we can do. Can't make any promise whatsoever.
But you got more persuasive than most people do.
Nah, I'm just average, is all I am.
No, you ain't average.
Yeah. Well, you got anything? Okay. I told you I'd write them to say the two things. You were cooperative and truthful in a case that we're trying to solve in Boone, North Carolina, and that I appreciate it.
Yes, I'll do that.
Let me ask one question. Have you ever heard of the name of Bryce Durham, or Virginia Durham, or Bobby Durham, or Jenny Sue Durham, or Troy Hall, Carolyn Johnson? Do you know any of those folks?
Not right off.
Not right off.
If I knew something about him, I might know.
I think
but-
pictures are going to speak 100
Yeah.
words for him because I think he's in a
I'm terrible with names too.
Well,
I will leave here and forget everybody I met on Wayne.
There's so much that has transpired. So many people that have died that it's really difficult to unravel this. It really is.
Well, and maybe with the old pictures of like the house and the area might trigger something that could be of help to us.
Yeah, he's willing, but he's like me. We both better do it pretty quick. It's not something that can wait. You don't mind if we come back?
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
She's young enough. She'll probably be back. I can't promise you I will. Fine. What's the time, please?
12:16.
You people are dead on the money all the time. Every time I've talked to you, and that means a lot, especially when it's you that's on the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Today's date is November the 17th, 2020. The four people that started the interview are still in the room. The time is 12:18 p.m. And I want to conclude by thanking Mr. Davis for his information and with the understanding that we would be back to follow up with some additional details and photographs. Thank you, sir.